So yes, I got this morning. I went and picked it up from Joseph Beth Booksellers after I picked up some coffee because I didn't know how busy it was going to be. I was the first one there, as you saw from the footage. I literally got in with the employees and the booksellers, so that was funny. But they had signed editions there, which I did not know ahead of time, and it cost the same as a regular priced book unsigned. So yes, super excited. So while I was watching with my friend yesterday the Random House in conversation with Diana Gabaldon, I was like going back and forth of how I should go about reading this, also like purchasing it and everything. I do plan on doing a vlog while I'm reading it. This is part of it. But I also want to do some like reading sprints and things like that. I probably should have planned this out better of like how the chunks will work. Like today, for example, I still have work and I have a volleyball game at 10 and then I'm meeting up with some friends for Friendsgiving right after work. At lunch, I think I'm touring a house, so not sure how much I want to get through. I did read the prologue, which is like a few sentences. It's like a paragraph and that's it. So that at least has got me started. And I'm using these fun bookmarks I got from LitJoy Create from my Sassenach box that I got from November, or for the month of November, so that'll keep me like organized as I go through it. I'm thinking like one will be like where I left off and one will be like my goalpost for that day. So today I'm not really sure what my goalpost is going to be. I'll have to figure that out, but I know there's probably gonna be tons of other like read-alongs and things like that. I asked Outlander Pod, who I like love and I'm like slowly catching up on now that I am caught up on all the books. I asked them if they're gonna plan to do a read along, so I might read along with them. I probably will read ahead because they usually do a week by week. I think they'll probably read it ahead of time and then when they start recording they'll do like chapter 1, chapter 2 and blah blah blah. So yeah, there's that. And then the Outlander Clan book club on Facebook is going to break things into different events so you can like get things spoiler free, or when you're reading ahead in a certain point you can post about your opinions and everything, but people know going into those different events labeled by chapters or how it's broken down that there's going to be spoilers there. So that I'm excited about. So yes, I probably will have this be a spoilery vlog, but I'm not going to post this until probably a few weeks after I've finished reading it, so it gives other people a chance to read and form their own opinions and everything. So that's the plan. So by the time you're watching this, it'll have been out for at least a month, I would say, at least 3 weeks. And yeah, that's that. And then so it's also Thanksgiving week, so it's also a holiday break for us in the States, so I don't have off until Thursday and Friday this week. So I'll probably read a little bit today if I can, tomorrow during lunch, and then after work, and then Thursday before I have to make dinner or make my part of dinner, and then before we go over to family's house for eating and celebrating, and then Friday I have off, and then Saturday, Sunday. So hopefully I can get a good chunk in. There's 963 pages, I think. So even if I break that into like 3 days, 300 pages, but also like the font is super, super small. So that 300 pages sounds like a book a day, easy. But like when it's small font, really thin pages, not really that. It's realistic, but it's also going to be kind of challenging. And we know Diana has a lot of detail, which is great, and a lot of historical facts and a lot of good dialogue and things like that. So yes, I clearly am going into this not having a plan, really. I just know I want to read it on time or within a reasonable time frame, since this is the first time that I have a copy of the latest book and I'm already caught up with it. Like the last book was published 7 years ago, written in my own heart's blood, and that I think I had picked in or gotten into the series like 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, this is the first time I'm like caught up, know what's happening, and I'm ready for the release. And I like got super excited while we were watching the event last night. I'm like, wow, this is the closest thing to like a midnight release party there is. And then I got so excited when I got up this morning, not knowing if there was gonna be like people around in line at the store. There wasn't, like I said. And then so this turns out I'm going to get 2 copies, since I ordered from the Poison Pen, which is Diana's like home store and publishing or press, small press, and I'll be getting that I think probably in January. So I'll have 2 signed editions. I might do a giveaway, I'm not sure yet, or I might just have a reading copy and like a nice signed copy, which that will be my first like legit copy from the Outlander series. All the other ones are like the mass market paperbacks with like the pages falling out, the spine's broken, which I'm fine with, but it's something exciting about getting a pristine edition, so I'll keep this as pristine as possible. I love taking the covers off and reading a hardback without the cover on because I don't want to damage this. So yeah, but yeah, look at the cover, amazing. And then Diana on the back, of course. Learned last night that she's turning 70. Like, what? Who knew? And it's cool because she, in her conversation, had talked about how she only writes up to Claire and Jamie to a certain age because that's what age that she's at or she's experienced. So she started writing Outlander when she was 36 and was able to write in their like younger years, in their like mid-20s, and then yeah, like so on and so forth in the books following. She knows what that age means or looks like for her, so she's able to write those characters a little bit better. So that was pretty cool to learn. Yes, I think that's all I'm going to share right now. I do have to jump into a meeting real quick, but I posted on Instagram already that I have received it. I'm very excited, and I will post pretty soon about my reading sprints coming up, probably on like the Sunday of the holiday break, since I have some time then, and I definitely want to be reading this book then too. So I'll be donning my tartan shawl scarf that I got from Lit Joy Crate, these gloves that are Claire's gloves, and then I have the Sassenach whiskey that we tried for the first time yesterday. We've been holding on to it until the book release, so very excited about that. And yeah, I'll have my, well, you can't really see it, my ring, my Jamie and Claire ring from Lollybrock. So I'm like ready, listening to the soundtrack. I like love a good theme. So obviously maybe I'll make some like Scottish treats or something, or like shortbread. I don't know, we'll see. But yes, that's all I have, and yeah, let's go. Back. It is now Small Business Saturday, or Indies First here in the States, which is a day to support small businesses, independent bookstores, any kind of local store in your town before the holidays. So I just went to Roebling Books. They have a new branch, or their second bookstore, open in Newport, Kentucky, and I got a coffee and a book there. The book's called The Power, and that's it. After my birthday book haul, that is all I should be buying right now. So hopefully that's the last book of the year. Hopefully again until April will be my last purchase, and then I'll start back up again when I'm in London. So yes, update on bees. So I am this way, this much through. That other spot in there is my goal for today. I'm going to try to get halfway. The first part, and like I said, this will probably have mild spoilers, but if you want more, there's a whole Facebook group called the Outlander Cast Clan Book Club, and they have different like groups set up for different parts of the book. So I read a bunch last night, so I'm at page 245, or the end of part 2. And part 1 was a lot of recap and like learning more about how Bree and Roger returned to, or through the stones into this time period back with the Freezers, and kind of like what else was going on with them, and catching up Claire and Jamie on that. And then part 2 is getting more into like, okay, what is the gifts that Brianna had brought back are more like modern day books, including a book that was written by her other dad, Frank, and that was all about like the Scots in America during the American Revolution. So interesting there. And then there was just some tragedy that happened on the ridge very sad that ended the part 2. So that's where I'm at right now. Other stuff going on, learning more about William and Lord John Grey and some history there that I wasn't expecting, and diving more into Claire's potential powers or abilities. She's talking a lot about the blue light when she was with Master Raymond in France, and then some other like powers I guess she might have as her hair turns white or something. I can't remember that prophecy, but they're mentioning a lot of stuff like that. So yes, I'm hoping to get halfway through today. I put up my tree last night. You saw some of those decorations, some of those ornaments, and then getting more into the Christmas ASMR. I got a bunch of Christmas shopping done yesterday too. Still a bunch more to go, especially with today being Small Business Saturday, Monday being Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday. Yesterday was Black Friday and Plaid Friday, so many shopping days. I'm almost done. I have a few more gifts to get, but most of it was online that I bought yesterday. Some things for myself too. Anyway, that is pretty much it. I have a few other errands to run today, a few blog posts I have to write. I'm hoping to finish this by Tuesday, which is November 30th, the last day of the month. So that's my goal, is to finish it this month so I can have it in the recap for the November wrap up. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I'll catch you later. With another update. It is currently Sunday, November 28th, I think, and I'm gonna be doing my live reading sprints soon, which is gonna help a lot more with where I'm at with Go Tell the Beast and I'm Gone. So currently I am at this spot. So this is page 448. I want to be able to get to part 5, which is on page 651. So 200 pages to read tonight. My plan is to, yes, read to part 5 tonight and then read part 5 and like split it amongst tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday, since I work both those days and fortunately can't be reading all day long, but I want to be able to finish by Tuesday since that is the last day of November and that's my goal, to like knock this out by then so I can do it for the wrap up. But yes, what can I tell you about what's been happening? I reached the middle point or halfway point last night around like 8:30 before we went out to like a piano bar kind of thing. And so Claire's like abilities are coming back into play. So she saved this baby, this woman, like down from their house about like 3 miles or so. I can't remember how far away, but this girl came in the middle of the night saying her mom was having some birthing complications, and this is like her 5th or 6th birth, so it shouldn't be that hard, but it turns out she was having twins, and Claire noticed that one of the twins was stillborn or dead, and once she delivered that girl, who was not breathing, heart not beating, was blue, all that, she took it into its arms, imagining it was Faith, her daughter, her firstborn daughter, who passed away, who was stillborn back in France with Jamie, and like was able to revive this twin girl. And yeah, it was like wild. So we're seeing a little bit more about what that looks like, if she has control over it, whatever that looks like. And then Bree, Roger, and their kids and Germaine are heading down to Savannah to do like a few things. One of which is to meet up with Lord John and like talk with William a little bit more, get to know him, and meet as like brother sister and have like a non-biased, I guess, the opinion of the situation, since Bree, like, she wants to get to know him, but like she knows it's a complicated relationship with Jamie and the father and everything. So there's that. Let's see, Ian, Rachel, Jenny, and Augie, Rachel and Ian's son, are going to the Mohawk lands, I believe, since there was some kind of battle or some kind of skirmish where he's not sure if his former wife Emily, who is an Indian or Native American in the Mohawk tribe, is still alive, and Ian believes that her eldest son is his. So that's happening. I'm trying to think what else. Jamie's trying to figure out what to do with the war, the Revolutionary War, how he can prepare his Ridge, since it has loyalists and like Americans and like rebels, I guess, amongst them, and what's his duty to protect, or who's his duty to protect. So yeah, I think that's enough of a wrap up there. Again, yes, at this point there have been spoilers, so it shouldn't be a surprise since I'm going through this. So yes, that is what's happening. My friend Dana had finished last night and said she was racing through the last 50 pages, like heart beating, adrenaline rushing, edge of her seat kind of thing. And I felt that way when Claire was delivering these twins, because it was like, oh my god, like what's gonna happen? There's a lot of excitement and like nerves and fear going on there, so it was a little bit of both of that energy flowing there. But yeah, I cannot imagine what is gonna make my heart rate go that fast at the end of the book. I just don't know. I'm like getting kind of nervous and like want to slow down so it doesn't end, but I keep seeing like on social media like spoiler, and then I'm like, no, I'm not looking. So at some point I just want to not have to avoid that. So that's a motivation of itself to just get through it. So yeah, it's currently 1 o'clock. Yes, it's about 1 o'clock. So I'm gonna read for about an hour. I have my smoothie here because I just got back from the gym, have laundry going. And then at 2 o'clock is the late night book club's discussion on In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by, I think it's Ashley Winstead, and that I had finished before picking up this. So I'll watch that. And then 3 o'clock is my live show for reading sprints. I like hope people show up, but if not, like I'm still going to read. But the plan is to kind of discuss current reads, do a mini Q&A maybe, and then do like a 25-30 minute sprint, take a break, and then do another 25-30 minute sprint, and then be done, and see if I want to do that again in the future. So it's kind of cool thinking about what I want to do with the blog and my social media channels, including YouTube, for 2022. A lot of different ideas. I just need to sit down and plan everything out, have like my content calendar, have ideas on revamping the website, my brand, I guess, which will take a lot of work and won't necessarily be ready by January 1st, but something to at least get started and work towards as a 2022 project, I guess. Might include a podcast. I really don't know. There's so many things that I can do with it. I definitely want to do a time management post in the next 2 weeks, since I was talking to my friend about this and how I was asked, like, how do I do it all? And the answer is I don't. Like, there's some things that I prioritize more than others. I don't, it's kind of like, what is it? The jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. And that's how I kind of feel right now as I'm winding down the year, looking back at what I had as goals for this year, seeing that I've accomplished some, but others I want to pay more attention to in the future. Most of that being like health-wise, physically, and just having more discipline with my eating habits and like exercise habits and all of that. So that's something I've tried to be more aware of, and also spending time with friends and loved ones, that I want to maintain those relationships and have a healthy social life as well. So yeah, I'll detail those more in a blog post, and yeah, put some more personal thoughts into it. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. So yes, I'm going to sign off for now, and then maybe show you a little bit of the reading sprint and see if anybody shows up. I want to see if I can do a screen share of an ASMR kind of thing, but I don't know. This is my first time using StreamYard. I've seen other content creators use it on YouTube, and yeah, I don't know what all the features are. Maybe I'll log in a little bit earlier and see if I can do anything with it. It might just be me reading and talking the whole time, and then I'll develop more skills in working it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get back to it, and I'll catch you later.
Like, there were just points where I was like, yes, I know exactly why you feel that way, but I think that's a really cool thing of like dark academia.
All right, just did my live stream reading sprints on YouTube, and it was an adventure. I didn't get any chance to film any of it like on this camera. Like obviously there's the live stream on YouTube listed as like my reading sprints, but it was just like, what's happening? Because apparently there was a troll in the chats, and like thankfully one of the other attendees that was viewing like blocked them and everything, so I was very thankful for that, because I was like, I like had thought about that before, but I'm like, well, like, I don't know, it's just people reading, like, what could go wrong? And obviously I should have known better and been more prepared for that. But anyway, so yeah, I had about like 10 to 12 people attend, which I thought was great, like very active in the chat, talking about the books that we were reading. Another person was also reading Bees, which I think was fun, but like we didn't share like any spoilers or anything, because like didn't want to ruin the experience for anybody else who wanted to engage in that. Somebody else was reading A Breath of Snow and Ashes. Somebody was reading Trevor Noah's memoir, and I mentioned like check out the audiobook. And then what else were folks reading? There's a few other ones like I hadn't heard of before, but I just asked for more like detail just so I could look more into it, but I can look through the comments later since that's all saved on the channel. But anyway, yeah, we did two 25-minute sprints. So at the beginning, I kind of gave an overview and like thanked everybody for coming, talked about like what books they were reading and everything. And then the first sprint was just like, it was just me reading because I couldn't figure out the stream or the screen share, and then I also can figure out the ticker at the bottom, but I found that out later after the stream was over. So I know how to do that next time. I also know how to add like branding colors and make it like a little bit more like it belongs on my channel. So that was a learning experience. And then the second round of reading sprints, we did a screen share of like a cozy Christmas coffee shop, but I put it on mute since I didn't know what people's preferences were for sound or music while they were reading, since this one had like instrumental Christmas music, and I think you could probably hear the fire crackling in the coffee shop or whatever, but again, I just didn't know what people preferred. They could always mute it, but I went on the safe side of just muting it for them. So yeah, I got probably like 25 to 30 pages done of the Outlander book. And yeah, I was like kind of distracted since I was trying to, oh, my computer just fell. My other computer just fell. I was trying to figure out like timing and everything. Like I had to keep track of the timing, make sure the comments like were tasteful and like no other trolls were on there, and just was anxious because I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I look like while I'm reading live? I have no idea. And then I heard my phone buzz and I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody's texting me to say that something went wrong, or like something's happening on the screen that shouldn't be happening. I don't know. I was freaking out. I'm paranoid and like anxious like that. So I might need to skim through those pages again so I know what actually happened. And there were a few moments I like chuckled, since there were a few laugh out loud moments, I guess, that I just read. So anyway, yes, I'm glad that that's done. I do plan to do another one since the folks that attended really like appreciated it. Like it was a time to pause and like really keep themselves accountable. So I appreciate that they shared that feedback, since that gives me a little bit more I guess validation or more reason to do them again, because it's not just helpful for me, it's helpful for other folks that want to get more reading in that haven't been able to in a while. So I was grateful for the folks that were able to come, and hope that others come in the future. Please no trolls. Oh my god. It wasn't that bad. Like it could have been way worse, but it was just like, okay, like we got it. And those comments have since been deleted and removed, so thank goodness. Anyway, it's 4:30 now. I'll probably start dinner since it takes about like 25-30 minutes to roast the veggies in the oven. I'm making like this chickpea sweet potato salad with like cranberries and like a garlic hummus sauce, or dressing, I should say. So I'm very excited about that. Very autumnal, very Thanksgiving, post-Thanksgiving-esque. And yeah, I'll get back to some reading. So there's an update for you there. I mean, I wish I was further along today, honestly. Like, I feel like I've only read like maybe 50 pages total since the beginning of the day, and I need to read like 180 more to be, good gosh, to where I want to be. So yes, there'll be a lot more reading tonight, but my eyes do get tired from staring at the pages, so I might not make that Tuesday goal, which if I don't, like, it is what it is. So just have to see what happens and try not to stress about it. Like, I do have work tomorrow, but like there's nothing I can do, and I just gotta accept that. But anyway, I will catch up with you later. All right, it is now Tuesday afternoon. Just finished up work. So close. About 140-ish pages left. Today is the last day of November. It's November 30th, and I think I've resigned the fact that I won't be able to finish this in time. I need to go for a run right now, and then I have about an hour or so before I have to head to volleyball, which is about 20-25 minutes away. Play there for an hour or so, drive back, shower, get ready for bed, and I might have a little bit more time, but that's okay. Like, I am enjoying it. I don't want to rush through it. I think that's what I realized as I was reading some more this morning and then during my break, that I was like speed reading through it, and then like my eyes were hurting and I was getting frustrated because I'm like, am I gonna make it or not? So I've decided, like, no, slow down, enjoy it. I know I can always reread it, but I want to know what I'm reading the first time through and like pick up on things, or at the very least like the big things that are happening, and know how different scenes come together or different actions come about. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Now, what else can I say? I don't even remember the last thing I shared with you all, but we're getting a little bit more about William, and him and Bree are like getting along really, really well, which is pretty cool to see, like the siblings, long lost siblings, I guess, half siblings, getting along. There was an attack on the ridge from the loyalists on Jamie and like his group of folks. So that was something. I don't think anybody died, but there's a lot of injuries, and then people getting kicked off their lands because they were being disloyal to Jamie and friends. So everybody's back on the ridge now. Ian, Rachel, and their family are back, and then Bree and Roger and their family are back, along with Bree being pregnant again, which is very exciting. And now I'm at the part where Bree is talking to Roger about more of like the science and the physics of going through the stones. So there might be a little bit more to it that they'll be able to find out. So who knows if that'll come into play later on in this book, of people traveling again through stones. I'm not sure, but I'm so close. Like, don't want to see any other spoilers. I mean, I haven't seen any yet, but I've been like very careful when people have said like spoiler, spoiler, spoiler on social media, and like kept scrolling through or exit the app or tab completely. So yes, but we are so close, friends. But it will not, at this point, it will not be done in November, which is okay. I have a silent book club meeting tomorrow in downtown Cincinnati, so I will most likely finish it there, if not during my lunch break or something. So one day after, I'm completely fine with. I have plenty of books for the month of December that I'll be reading that I think I will be able to get through easily, because none of them are 800 pages. One is, I think, 500, but the font is huge and the margins are huge, so it'll be a breeze. So yeah, that is the update. I'm gonna go for a run, and then I will catch you later. It is done. It is done. So I read a little bit more when I was at the Silent Book Club last night. So we saw a little bit of that ambiance. I got this drink. It was called the Fiona Fine Apple. It was like Moscato and pineapple and some other kind of syrup or something. So I had that, and then had like a few other people come by for the Silent Book Club. And then I came back home and read the remaining like 80 pages of this book. Heart was racing at the last like 40 to 50-ish pages, and then I had to do the thing where you don't want to like skip ahead or like skim and see the spoiler on the next page or whatever, so I had to cover up the last like few paragraphs of the last page, and I was like slowly inching my hand down so I wouldn't ruin it for myself. But yes, lots of things to digest. I had texted my friend Dana, who had finished it a few days earlier, with like my initial thoughts and some questions that I had, and now I'm going back into like the Facebook group. It's called the Outlander Cast Book Club Clan, or Outlander, something like that, but I'll link it below in the description once I get the actual name of it. So I went back in there and then like checked off all the rest of the chapters since I've read everything, and read some of the comments. There wasn't a lot of activity in there, to be honest, so I guess that's a good thing, but also it's not like folks can start putting spoilers like everywhere that are part of this group in February. So that's like their timeline for it. So I'm expecting more people to put stuff in. And I know I was talking to my colleagues yesterday, we were sharing like what books we were reading, and I had said that I was reading this one and somebody else was reading it, or they want to, but it hasn't arrived yet. So I think that might be the issue with some folks. And then there's another person in the chat or the Facebook group that said it's like their busiest season, which makes sense too for a lot of like employees for the holiday season that are really busy this time of year. So it makes sense as well. So glad that there aren't a lot of like spoilers out there for people to like accidentally stumble on them, or like not cheat, but like kind of take a glimpse of what they can expect or just be prepared for. So yes, I don't remember the last like plot point I left off of when I talked to you last. I think, let's see. Oh yeah, like William and Bree were getting along, so that relationship is very interesting. And then William just feels like he was like traveling back and forth between like Virginia, Savannah, and like Philadelphia, like back and forth trying to figure out stuff. The biggest, which I should have seen this coming since it opened with Bree and Roger talking about why they escaped and came back in time through the stones from what was happening in like their current time. And that comes up again in the last, probably last 150-ish pages. We see that emerge again, so that's problematic. So we'll see what happens with that with the next book. There are a lot of like cliffhanger moments. There's also a lot of like joy and like revelations and things like that. Claire is like coming to her own with her like blue light magic, which is cool. That saves somebody very near and dear to us. And then Bree has her baby, names him Davy, which I thought was really cute. After, oh gosh, I can't remember whose father or like grandfather or something. It's a family name. And then it's just really cool to see like Jamie and Claire's love for their grandchildren, their sacrifice for them. What else? There's so much that happened. Good Lord. I don't know if I'll recap all of it here, but just wanted to give you like quick, like, blah. Here, let me read what I wrote to my friend. Okay, I said, okay, how many times is Jamie going to almost die? And they keep saying like, oh, he has like 9 lives, or like that's been talked about a lot, but I don't know what number these last few were. Don't know if Lord John is gonna die. Can history be changed? Since the book that Frank wrote, Jamie died in it, basically because it was a history book, and he didn't die. So that I thought was interesting, that maybe history can be changed, or maybe in the chat it was talking about how Frank wrote it as a warning for Jamie and Claire. So that could be interesting. Oh, so Davy has like a different color like Jamie does, that Mandy sees. So Mandy and Jenna have this really special connection. They can like find each other over long distances, but they aren't able to find that with Davy, who's their newest little brother. So does that mean he can't travel through the stones? What happens when Bree, Roger, and their family have to travel back, but Davy may not be able to? Who knows? Not much happened with like the time travel manual, so that might be brought up again. And we're not sure if there are others with the person that came back that's going to be threatening Roger and Bree or trying to change history. Ugh. And then, also thinking about like who's double crossing them. So is Amaranthus double crossing? Who is, good gosh, it is Lord John's nephew's wife, who now her husband or the nephew is a traitor and has gone over to the American side, has married somebody else. So this Amaranthus person is like pursuing William, and like there's a whole dynamic there, and he wants her to marry him, but not sure if she's a good or bad person. Don't really know much about her. But yes, so proud of myself. Finished this in 8 days. I wished it would have been 6 or 7, but oh, hey Diana. Yeah, I'm super proud of myself regardless, since this is the fastest I've read any of the Outlander books, especially how long it took me to read Written in My Own Heart's Blood. That took me like a year to read, picking up and putting it down. This was much more engaging, plus it was much more exciting since it's like brand new information that like not a lot of people know or like are all learning at the same time kind of thing. So that's been really cool. But I've been re-listening to the Outlander pod on my podcast app and like going through those episodes. I'm back in like 2015 right now. They're going over season 1, and then they'll continue with their Dragonfly and Amber book discussion before season 2 and all that. So that's been kind of fun to catch up and like get back into the mind and relive some of those moments, get some breadcrumbs, I guess, or what are they called? Easter eggs in the story leading up to this. I don't know the next time I will read this. I will probably, I probably will want to reread or re-listen to the season or the series before the 10th book comes out, but there's no, I'm like, she's in the works of it, but who knows how long that's going to take. Might be 4 or 5 years, and I have time, which is great. Not sure what else to say. I did give this a 4.5 out of 5. This will be on my December wrap-up since I did finish it in December, not November, but a chunk of a book, 888 pages, 155 chapters, 5 parts, 1 book. Now I really want like an Outlander tattoo. If you have any ideas of what that could look like, let me know. I don't know if I want like faces. I want more like symbol kind of stuff, not a bee. I'm not sure what it would be. Maybe a phrase, just we pray. It could be cool. That's what my mouse pad is right now. But there's, I can't remember what there's like an expansion of that quote that's in here. It's like, just we pray, I am ready, and then ready for anything is like the continuation of the phrase. So I thought that was pretty cool. I just don't know what the French translation is. Anywho, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. Sorry, it was kind of all over the place since I didn't have, like, when I do my reading vlogs in the past, it's like I'm reading it in a weekend. This, I probably could, but my eyes would hurt so much, and I feel like I would be rushing through it. Like I mentioned before, I didn't want to speed through this and miss, like, bigger plot points, let alone, like, the smaller things. So, yeah, I took a little bit to read it, but that's okay. But I will probably have more thoughts as I like keep digesting and reading reviews and like spoiler comments and like predictions and stuff like that. And then I'll do another wrap up in my December wrap up, and then yeah, on to the next Outlander book or Outlander theme thing I will do. I kind of want to do like use like, I think it's Teresa, I don't know her last name, but she does the Outlander Kitchen. I might borrow that book again for the library and make some stuff just for the heck of it. Of course, I'll be drinking my Sassenach whiskey, please. So yeah, that is all I have for you all. Thank you so much for watching. Go pick this up if you haven't already, or read the series if you haven't already. I hope you've read some of it because this is a whole spoiler video. But yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Like, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below some of your thoughts, and let's see, hit subscribe, the notification bell, all those things. But yeah, have a great day and happy reading.